Okay, so good afternoon, student. My name is Shitish. As you know that I will be give you first session about web development. What is web development and what a web designer do in a web development and what language you should need to learn. Okay, so this is the second session of web development course. So if you have any query regarding first session where we see that what our designer do in a web development and which language you need to learn. If you want to be a web developer, so you which language you need to learn. So if you have any query regarding previous session, so you can ask me. And if you have don't, so let's we move to our second session. That is how the website work on the browser and what is the autonomy of web pages and many other technical things. So let's start our today's session. So in this session we will see that what is the client server model and what is the server side model and how the world wide web work and other technical things, and at the end we will see and we will teach you and I will show you some autonomy of web pages. So okay, now let's start the today's session. So before we start today's session, we will be clear or we will be tell us something about difference between internet and world wide web. Or you can say that www. So before because here I study or I see that how the www work. So before I start this session, I will teach you or you can say that I will be give you some difference between internet and www. So the internet is the global system of interconnected computer network. You can say that internet is a way that you can be connect many other network or other device. So this thing will be possibly only use of internet. And World Wide Web is the only service that run on the internet. So World Wide Web is the service that will be run on the internet. So World Wide Web is the interlinked hypertext document accessed via internet. So here hypertext document in this session I will teach you all of things. So okay, now I say I hope you understand that difference between World Wide Web and internet. If you don't, so don't worry. I will give you another example, or you can say that another theory, so you understand it. Okay. If you don't understand it, so you can ping me, or you can be ask me between the session. So you can say that the internet is a massive network of network. It connects millions of computers together globally form a network in which any computer can communicate with each other. So okay, now you can understand it. If you don't, so internet is the thing that you can be connect and other devices or other network and communicate with each other. And the World Wide Web is a simply web way to accessing the information over the medium of the internet are present. So you can say that World Wide Web is the basically used to accessing the information that will be present on our internet or browser. So now we continue our today's session, that is World Wide Web. The World Wide Web is a way of exchanging information between computer on the internet. So it will be basically run on the internet. So it's though not the any other way. So the World Wide Web is a network of pages, images, text, and a sound that internet which can be viewed using browser software. So here browser software you can say that your Chrome, your Mozilla Firefox, and etc. When your browser are will present at this time. Here you can see that when a client gives some request, so the request will be start from www. So this thing is the protocol. I don't need to worry about. In this session, I will be give you our overview about what is protocol. So is with the response of client, the internet or you can say the browser will be give you some request to your request. Okay. Now let's we move to some technical or you can say there's some related term to the our World Wide Web. So before we study this thing, I will be give you all other overview about what is the World Wide Web. So the World Wide Web is a server which will be run on internet. A server can be make two things. Like a server can be computer on which a website is hosted and a program that will be run in a such computer. So what is the difference between hosted and run on a computer? So now we will be move to our Google so you can understand that these difference between all of them. So okay, now you see that I write here any website name, like I write Wonko Vision Technology. like you see that this thing. So this thing will be run on my browser. So is in here I am the client. So this thing will be run on my computer. So this is the program that will be run on a computer. So they are the two things. So this is the second thing. And when I give you this request, so the request will be generated in another, you can say that server that will be located anywhere. I don't know, but that will be located anywhere. So the request will be generated on the web server, and with the response regarding my query, so it will be give my response to this. So this all this thing, World Wide Web and other thing. So okay, so the web server refer to the both hardware and software. So in the hardware, you can say that a website to be available to everyone in the world all the time. It need to be stored or hosted on a computer that is connected to the internet. Such computer is also known as web server. So here hardware, you understand that web server. So web server is basically is a computer program that will be placed in anywhere in the world. As now you can see that many of advertisement, you see that like many of companies are put that like GoDaddy, Big Rock, and Hosting Nagar, etc. These all these company will provide you some hosting partner. So what is hosting? So hosting is, you can say that is a server. So what is server? Server is a computer program that will be run 24 hour into 7, so that your website will not be down. So this thing will be your hardware part. And software part, the software that run on the website hosting server computer. It is the main purpose to serving web page by retrieving the web page and giving to the user as a request. So is in a software, you understand that when I give some request to our server, so the server will give my some request, or you can say it will give me some response. So this thing will be software thing. So now you understand the between hardware and software also. So now this thing I will be give you some technical thing so you understand the World Wide Web clearly. So the hypertext concept. The hypertext is which contain links to other. So what is the meanings of links? So links is, you see that you can say that when you want to write this text will be converted into link. So when I click this text, so this text will be goes another useful page for me. So this thing will be a link page. A web browser will display a web document and enable user to access the web document. So a web browser is basically, you see that our Google Chrome is our web browser. So this thing will be useful to accessing document or web document. You can see the HTML CSS and JavaScript. So when we combine this all these things, this will be combined into web document. And what is web server? So as I clearly tell us some before something about what is web server. So web server is a program that waits patiently for the browser to request a web page. Okay, now you understand that all this thing. Now let's we move to our URL part. So what is URL? So URL stand for Uniform Research Locator. These are the web address. The resource locating addressing system. So here this thing will be related to technical things so that I can give you all the overview about this thing. So just go to my browser. So here you see that this thing is https://www.wonkovision.com. So now I just copy this so that I can clearly tell us what is all these things. So I open my paint. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. So I copy this here. I just write this thing, like you see that. HTTPS. HTTPS is, you can say that it is a protocol. What is the meaning of protocol? So protocol is the, you can say that it is a restriction where in example I give you all the example in a simple example. Protocol is a simple special set of rules used in a digital communication to ensure systematically and safe transfer of data over network or everything. So this thing is the, you can say that this is the protocol, or you can say the rule of web application for us. As you see that in our human life, some rules will be built by government. So as in our technical thing, we build some rule that will be, you can say, that protocol. But in web development you only understand these two protocol like http and https. What is the difference between http and https? So I write, firstly I write both of them. So but simple difference both of them, like https stand for hyper text transfer protocol. And what is the definition of HTTPS? Same definition as I write before above. Just I write after the protocol secure. So this thing you can understand that what is the meaning of secure. Secure is the basically, you can see that at this time every many of hacker are will be available on internet that can be work for any organization, or is for yourself. You can see that because hacker will be two types. First is ethical hacker and second is black hacker. So the ethical hacker will be company, or you can say the organization will be higher. So ethical hacker or hacker will be, it will be work that can be hack your website, or you can say that this work will be find your weakness your website or web application. So you can say that if our website is not be secure, so this thing will be easily to be accessible of any hacker or any other technical person. So here you can see that our https will be located in this thing, so this website will be secure. So hacker do not be able to hack this website easily because it is a secure. Or in another way you can say that many of web pages or website are will be present this sign. So whenever you see this sign will be locked, so this log will be, you can say that this website will be secure. And if the log will be open, so this, so that website will not be secure. Okay, so now let's we move to our addressing part. What is the meaning of addressing? Just a minute. You can see that this is our protocoling part and this is our world wide web. World wide web. So how our web browser know that where our web server will be located, and how they know that we want to this information? Because in a digital thing, or you can say that in a digital way, everything will be stored in a internet protocol, or you can say that IP. So the internet IP, you can say that IP is the address to identify addressing on the internet. So for example, in human life, you can see that there are lots of houses are will be present on earth or in India. So the all the houses have different number. So this thing will be our IP in our computer. So you can see that most of the all of this computer will be same thing, but one thing will be different is IP. So IP is a identity destination of the internet, or you can say that device or any other thing. So every device connect to the internet has an IP address. So now you don't know because you have very eager to learn this thing, so you don't know that what IP of your computer. So I will be just show my IP. So you, if you want to check your IP, so you just write IP config in command prompt. This thing will be command prompt. Before you can see that UI and command line. We have two types of service are provided by Microsoft. This thing will be provided by GUI. If window will be not present in your system, so this thing will be always present in your system. But at yet we use Windows, so we don't need to learn any this command. So I write IP config. So you can see that this thing will be show my IP and my subnet and my other thing. So there, this thing will how you can check your IP. So now I will be just you overview about what is IP, so that you can understand it. So IP address are the basically will be work on TCP, transformation control protocol. So transformation control protocol is the very technical way because it's all this thing are networking. So here I just only give you overview, so you don't need to worry about this. So I just check, or you can say that I just we write, take pencil. So I write IP. What is IP? IP have we in this time I have two types of IP. IP version 4 and IP version 6. You can see that there are lots of, or you can see that there are lots of devices or lots of computers because every organization will be work on internet. So they have lots of IP are present in this time. So at this time we will be work on IP version 4. But it is in the future, if all the IP will be block, or you can say that if all the IP will be not available any IP in the IP version 4, so we will be transfer our network into IP version 6. This is the small is compared to IP version 6. So you can say that IP version 6 will be 32-bit. What is the meaning of 32-bit? This is the technical, or you can say the storage information about our computer, because computer do not understand that what is A, what is B. This thing will be only compare, or you can say that this thing will be only convert into 0 or 1. You can say that it's a bit code. So bit code is, you can say that 1001. So if you want to write 5, so you have to write, you write in command, because in command, or you can say that in byte code, so you can write 0110. This thing will be 2 1, like 2 to the 4 and 2 5. This thing will be come to 5. So these are the technical one. Okay, so I tell you about 32-bit and 128-bit. So here in a 32-bit we have present we have present four types, or you can say that four block. Each block will be continue 8 bytes. So here I write 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 minus 0 0 0 0. So this thing our IP version 6. But as compared to IP version 6, this thing will be converted into, here I just write 1 2 3 4 4 byte. You can say that 32-bit, but 4 byte. Each byte is compared to 8 byte of side. 828, 816, 842, 828, 824, 842. This will be convert into 32-bit as compared to IP version 6. This thing will be is very larger. You can say that this thing will be right into hexacode, and hexacode you can say that A will be converted into 10. So if you write 10 in browser, so if you write 10, or you can write A, so we can say that, just a minute, I just compare, or you can say that I just 2 keep 2 tower 1 2 tower 2 2 3, because 210 like this hexacode, because this is the all the hexacode. You can see hexacode, or you can say that octal code will be present 8 type. So these all the things, but in IP version 4 we have present 4 types of class A, B, C and D. First three part will be used for public accessible, and for D this will be used for our government or our research purpose. So this knowledge will be all about for understanding all those things. So hope you understand this. What is URL? URL is basically your address. Or what is the meaning of address? Address, you can say that your IP. Or what is the domain? Domain, you can say that, I just tell you, domain is, you can say that .com, .in, .ing. These all these things are domain, and this is our website name. So okay. You have to understand all those things. Guys, if you have any query or any question, you can ask. After that, I will be moved to next part. So no query. So here you can see that this is the model that how our website will work, client side versus server side. So client side is, you can say that client side is your user, or you can say that you, and server side is your computer that will be placed in any world, anywhere in the world. So here you can say that our user will be give some request to our server. So in the response of our request, the server will be give some our result. So these all the cycle will be work our website, how our website work. So here you can see that I write, or you can say that our client server side, our only three language will be run like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But in the backend side, you can say that in the server side, there are lots of language will be run like PHP, MySQL. MySQL basically not a language; it is a database, and Python. There are lots of language will presented when you want to be code backend in this. So okay, so now you understand it. What is the client side and what is the server side? For example, when you give some request to like www.zomato.com, so when you give some request to our server, so it will perform some action on zomato.com. So it will be goes the address, or you can say that IP of zomato.com, and in the in the as compared to your request, the server will give request, or you can see the result of your request. So these all these things are our model of our how our website will work. Now you can see that I write here, I write www.zomato.com. You can see that the I give some request. So this thing will be go any, or you can say the address or IP where it will be located, and it shows some request. So now you have to understand this thing. Now we will move to our client side and server side part. So client side, the web browser is something referred to a client side model of communication. So it is a client side model. There are two types of model like client side and server side. The server side is a computer agent that, as you know, that I tell you that server side will not be able to down. If server will be down, so your website will also down. Here you also see that when some heavy traffic will be present on any website, so that traffic will be though, so that website will be crash, or the, as you said, that the website will be down. So if with the when you build a website, so you need to understand all these things. Or in a client is a computer agent that makes request and receive response from the server in the form of response code, image, text, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So now here I give you some example. So this is some theory. So don't need to worry about that student that why I don't write your some code, because these two sessions will be able to our theory part. So when you understand all those theory, so you need to all these things very smoothly. So the client-side programming is the execution of client side via the web browser instead of website or server side. So upon the request, the necessary files are sent to the user computer by the web server on which they reside. So because the will be server will be response our request, so it will be give you some useful file that you will be need to to yours. So like here you can see that when I give some request here, the our server will be give some useful file. Here you see that server will be give our HTML file and our CSS file. They will not give any other file, because I don't give any other command, so that it will not give any other thing, because you have need to know that how your website will be work in your server side. So after this thing, I will be show some advantages of client side language. So the client side language is allow for more interactive by immediately responding to the user action. You can see that when you write anything in your browser, the browser will be responds to your request. So okay, so they execute quickly because they do not require a trip to the server. Because the client side language will be executed quickly as compared to server side because they do not require any perform any action or perform any task in on our files. So this thing will be run faster as compared to our server side. Here you can see that whenever you write, like if you write any other thing, like you see that our browser will be give some request or some result. So this thing will you see that this is our user part or our execution quickly part. So can give developer more control over the look and behavior of the web apps. So whenever you if you create client side language, so you need to be understand that your website will be able to device control, or you can say that it will be able to run any device. So here I show something like here you see that Zomato. If I minimize this thing, so you can see that this thing will be converted into another. Here you see, here you can see that this thing will be converted into large part, and after I minimize this thing, it will be converted into smaller part. So this thing all will be responsive website. At this time, you need to be build your website is with the help of responsive. Here you can see that bootstrap. Here you see that this is a navbar of bootstrap. In this device, our bootstrap will be, or you can say the bootstrap navbar will be placed top on our head part, and this thing all will be our different and different. When I short this thing, you can see that this bootstrap, or you can say that this navbar will be converted into drop down menu. When I click this, it will be open. So here I teach you this thing, how you can make your responsive fully, how make your website in fully responsive. So okay, hope you understand all this thing. If you have any query, so you can ask me, and after that I will be moved to next further part of this site. Okay, so now after we look our client side language, we need to be look up something about server side scripting language. So server-side scripting language is used to connect to a database that reside on the web server. So if you build a website and that website will be perform some action, the action you can say that if the website will be store some database, so this website will be your, you can say that this is a very big project in the compared to your, because you can save your database in something. Okay, so server side can be used to database that reside on the web server. Server side scripting can access the file system residing at the web server. When you can see that whenever you build any big project, because after this thing you will be need to learn lots of thing about web development, because this is very basic, or you can say that this is the very common language you need to be learned if you want to be web developer. So you need to be learn this thing. After that, when if you want to go another, or you can say that if you another field, so they have lots of files are present. You can say that in a simple HTML page, you can say that if you want to create a simple website, so you create our home page, about us, contact us, and our blog part. So this thing will be our converted into 5 page, and 5 page, and you can say that 5 CSS file and 5 other things. So this thing will be converted into our file system that will be stored in our web server. So okay, you can see, you can understand that you need to be access the file system residing at the web server. You need to be write your files it's according to the need. So the response from the server side script is slower as compared to client side because the scripting are performed on the remote computer. So now you can, here you feel this thing when you create, or when you can see that when you open your result. So you don't mind. Just give you example. When you open your CBSE site, at when the result will be come on, so you can see that the site will be very slower as compared to other day, because every, or you can say that every student will be open this site in your device. So this site will be slower in compared to other days. So okay, now you understand that why client side is faster to server side, because server side language will perform some task or perform some action in our backend part. Okay, this is the autonomy. So before after I start, I just give you some advantages also, so you can understand. So the advantages of server side are, it does not require to use to download plugin like Java or Flash. Because you can see that it is a scripting language, so you do not need to require any plugin required. When you build a project, you need to be understanding what is the meaning of plugin. As you know that in the webinar, I I show you that how I download or how I install some plugin into my code. So okay, so don't need to worry about that. After this session, I will be show how you can download any plugin in your browser. So your second advantage is your script are hidden from viewer, because this is the hidden language, because user can see this language, but this is a very powerful language, because this language will be able to add action in your website. So the your script are hidden from viewer. User only see the HTML and CSS part. Output even when they view the source. Okay. Now I give you some example. The advantage that what I say that what is the meaning of the why this thing will be show hidden, because you can see that this thing our HTML and CSS part. Every user will be see this thing. Not any user will be seeing this part. Like here you can see that I open my here console, this thing will be not. If I open my here, I don't know where my browser console, so that I can give you that how the website works. So don't need to worry about that this thing. Like you can see that this all our browser console. So this thing is will be our HTML and CSS part, but you also know that your server side language will be always hidden by the user. But this is a very useful for us. So okay, at the end, if you have any query regarding our this session, like what is the World Wide Web, what is the difference between Internet and World Wide Web, and what is the addressing, what is the client side, and what is the server side, so you can ask me, or you can also ask previous session question. So if you have don't need any question, if you don't want to ask any question, so now we move to our last part of this session. This is the autonomy of our web page. So autonomy is, you can say that this is our structure of our web page. So here I just add one image, so that you can easily understand that this is our title bar, and this is our navigation tool where the user can be navigate your application. This is our location bar, header, and this all these things are our autonomy of our web page. So you don't need to worry about this. I give you all our overview about this thing. So okay, so now you can see this thing. Now I will be moved to our code part, so that you can easily understand that how the what is the autonomy of web page. So here I write, or you can see that I open my Visual Studio Code before, because I use Visual Studio Code for coding, because it is a very nice, or you can say that it is a very good code editor. So at the end, my code editor is open. If you have any query, so you can ask me, because here I just teach you every technical things, so that you can easily understand all this thing. Okay. As in previous session, I just something blushing your previous session work. I just see that how UX and UI work. So just a minute, my code editor will be open. I see in the previous session like UX and UI and lots of other things. Here you see that this is the first.html. This is our first file. You always need to know that whenever you create a HTML file, so the extension will be .html, and whenever you create a CSS file, so that extension will be .css, and whenever you create, or when you create any, you can say any JavaScript file, so the extension will be JavaScript. So here I write another file with the name of, just a minute, maybe it's load. session dot ml. You can see here I just give you overview about the autonomy of our web page. Just a minute, it's creating now. I will just show autonomy in the web browser. Here you can see that here I add our logo, our session, or you can see that this is our search bar. Here I add some two buttons, and this is our all of body where the image will be shown by our static things. So okay, now our thing file will be created because I open many of software, or you can say that many of three browsers, so it will be maybe sometimes slow. So no need to worry. At yet now you can see that our file will be created. Here I just write this thing, and you can see that this is the functionality of our VS Code. That function, that VS Code which we provide, this is the autonomy of our web, or you can say that our HTML page or our web browser. So this is our title, and here I write our code. So okay, now you understand all these things. This is the way title bar and way navigation part. So you just I show your this website into my browser. So just a minute, you can see that this is the autonomy of web page. So this website and make in the webinar. So like you can see that here I add navbar, here I add carousel, and you can see that when I just slide it, this image will be changed. Here I add our about us page, and here I add our services, and this thing will be our feedback form. So these all the about our autonomy of our web page. So hope you guys are understand. If you have any queries, so you can ask me. So thank you for your attention. Hope you guys enjoy this session. Thank you.